put it in a nutshell, the Constitution would have put the burden on the president to convince two-thirds of the Senate to approve a treaty, if this was treated as a treaty as
Right.
it should be. And what the Republicans did in the Corker bill was completely flip the presumption. So essentially now the burden is on opponents of the deal to round up two-thirds supermajority support in both houses of Congress to defeat it. And of course, that's not attainable. That's why Obama signed the Corker bill.
All right, joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, Larry Klayman, founder of Freedom Watch. And of course, he's a former federal prosecutor as well. Larry, lots I want to talk about with you, and I want to get to Hillary and Bill Clinton and the RICO lawsuit where they're going to be deposed. But I want to first get your opinion. Donald Trump, Andy McCarthy weighing in there on this Iran deal and how Congress has, delegated, relinquished its authority, basically, to reject this as a treaty. Why did they do that?
Well, Republicans are paranoid that they're going to be perceived as obstructionist in the next election. Everything they do is governed by that. Whether anything involves Obama, they roll over. And here they rolled over again. And they turned everything on its head, as Andy McCarthy said, is that you need two-thirds to ratify a treaty. This is a treaty. It involves our national security, the national security of our allies like Israel. And two-thirds of the Senate need to give their advice and consent. It's as simple as that. I would say that those Republicans who voted for this Corker bill, and that's what it's called, either should have to revise that legislation immediately, given what we now know about this treaty with Iran, which threatens our very existence existentially, or they should, in fact, be impeached. Because what they did was to sell out the national security of the United States. Obama will likely get 34 votes, which will be enough to have this thing ratified.
Yep.
And as we know, there are many provisions. There's a 24-day notice provision to be able to inspect these nuclear facilities. Even if this treaty was good on any other basis, which it's not, obviously that's an opportunity to sanitize those nuclear facilities. This is treasonous, and the Republicans bear as much responsibility as Obama. And that's why I say, Steve, either they revise that legislation immediately and go back to what the Constitution says, or they should all be impeached.
Well, unfortunately, neither one is going to happen. Let's move on to Donald Trump. He filed reportedly with the FEC today, saying he's worth $10 billion. He made about $350 million last year. So it looks like he's going all the way.
I think he has a really good chance of winning. He's saying things that other people aren't saying. And in effect, his message is this. He says, look, I've bribed all these people before. I've bribed congressmen, I've bribed senators, I've bribed presidents. I got what I wanted. I know how it works. Now I've got $10 billion. I don't need to bribe anybody anymore. I'm just going to let it rip, and I'm going to do what I think's right. I think it's a very strong message. I can't talk in terms of Freedom Watch, but I can say personally I'm supportive of what he's saying, and I think he has an excellent chance of winning the Republican nomination if he stays to his script, which frankly is to tell the truth with the American people.
All right. Let's move on to this RICO case. Bill and Hillary have been sued by you under the racketeer the statute, RICO statute, and what's the status of this? The court case in Florida has been scheduled for early next year. When will Hillary and Bill, when will they be forced to be deposed by you and your people?
As you know, Steve, we have a trial date of January 25th, 2016. That's coming up very fast. And what this case is about is selling government influence. In fact, with Iran, that's why it's so important. Hillary Clinton was selling the ability to do business with the Islamic Republic of Iran by granting waivers at the State Department when she was Secretary of State in exchange for contributions to the Clinton Foundation and big speaking fees for her and her husband. That's why this is so important. Now, I have just noticed the depositions of Bill and Hillary Clinton for the latter part of this month. And the reality is this, is that whether or not the court postpones these or not, they are defendants in this lawsuit. They're going to need to be deposed. And I'm agreeable to shifting around some dates if we have to, but we're going to get their depositions, and I believe that this case will stick. It's very important because not even the House Oversight and Reform Committee has had the guts to call Hillary Clinton in front of that committee to testify. It's for the American people. We represent the American people.
Yeah, I just want to be clear. Have they requested a delay in the depositions?
Well, I have to talk to them later today. And they don't want to have depositions at all. But the court has said discovery will proceed. And you might remember in Jones v. Clinton with Paula Jones years ago, the president, Clinton at the time, tried to get out of a deposition. And the Supreme Court said even a president can't get out of that. Well, Bill Clinton's no longer president. Hillary Clinton's no longer Secretary of State. They will have to be deposed. So there may be a shift in terms of the timing, possibly, but they're going to be deposed.
Okay, one other question real quick. Can they take it to a higher court and either try to have it dismissed, which would delay that, and or get it postponed?
They're trying to have it dismissed, but they really don't have strong grounds to do that.
Okay. All right.
And I don't believe the judge would have set it for such a quick trial if he thought it was going to be dismissed.
Gotcha. Larry, appreciate it. We'll speak to you soon. Up next, folks, it's Gimme 5 coming your way right here. Don't go away.